Good morning, guys. It's Monday, the 12th of January. It is check-in day and it is also a busy working day. So we already have done our check-in pictures. We have done our check-ins for our clients. We have had breakfast this morning and now it was time for me to actually tell you guys what happened this week, because the last video you saw was a full day of eating. It was a full day of eating on a resting day, but it was not really a full day of eating because we had reduced carbs. Now, for the past week, I have been back, of course, from the skiing trip that we went on, and my weight started climbing. So my weight got up and up and up every day with at least a half to a full kilos for the first 3 days. So I texted Cuba to ask him what he wanted me to do there, and he came back to me and said that we would reduce carbs for the first few days and then see what was going on. Now with that, with 2 days of reduced carbs, my body weight dropped down a kilo. So he reduced my base plan diet, and then I followed that and my weight came up a little bit again, but that's not a big issue, I think. Now, this morning, the check-in pictures did look pretty soft, I'd say. I did not really look that sharp. I'm gonna show the pictures in the screen right now. So not as sharp as I would like, but yeah, we are in a health phase, of course. We are end of the off season, so the shape might be a little bit more soft than we are used to. So it is not an issue, but it's always a hard thing to see, I think. It's not the best look, and I definitely want to go cut down now because I really want to see what we've built already this year. Now, for the diet, I'm gonna run through the today's full day of eating because it is a training day again and it is adjusted. So what's better than just let you see what I'm eating for the full day in our training day. We are currently at, let me check, 4,583 calories, so almost for 4,600 on the training days, and on the resting days we are eating 3774. So that's a reduction of around 500 calories on training days and around 450 500 calories on resting days. It's a decent cut back. We also have new cardio implemented, so he wants me to do every morning 20 minutes of fasted cardio on top of the 10,000 steps daily that we are used to make a little difference already for the pre-prep kinda phase we are running right now. It is maintenance, but he does want to see a little bit of fat loss, I think. Now, for the lipolytics and the peptides I'm using at the moment, there is 600 micrograms of SLU going in and 4 milligrams of SS31. I do notice with the implementation of the SLU that my body temperature is a little higher and that I am more, expanding more throughout the day. And the SS31 is as well as some kind of a energy expenditure aid. It's mitochondrial aid, so it helps me expend more energy and get it all on point. So that's helping me right now. Next to that, there is 10 units of lentis going in right now. We reduced it from training days from 15 to 10 units just to help my pancreas, not to do anything else. So it's just for extra support of it. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna take you along with me today through all the meals I'm eating. I'm gonna show you my breakfast in a second, and then meal 2 is almost on the rise for me. So we're gonna eat and gonna show you what it all is. Let's have a nice day and let's see what we are eating. Now, whilst I'm waiting on my potatoes in the air fryer to heat up and to get crispy, I was thinking about talking about a little bit of routine, because what I notice with clients, and especially after the holidays, is that they all have to get back into routines. If they are out of routine because of 2 weeks of vacation, bedtimes are all over the place and there's no real habit that has been kept going, they have a real hard time to get back into it. At first it feels very heavy for all of them to get back into it, and then it takes a lot of effort and extra motivation to really get back to it. So what I always tell everyone is try and keep a little bit of your routine in place, with the bedtimes, with the structure of your day, your meal timings. When you go on a vacation, it's all fun and games until you get back and you have to go back to the normal life, because the routines that have been in place before the vacation are all gone. And to set up a good routine, it takes actually at least 2 weeks to get it into a habit and to make it easy. So try and stick to the routines. With myself as well, I noticed that I'm 1 week after stopping with vaping now, and it was in my routine every day to keep that vaping going and just to have that thing in my hand. Now after 1 week I still have that itch to do it, not because I'm dependent on the nicotine, but because I am dependent on the routine. It was just in my routine. When I get up, get the thing, go vape, and then go on. After eating, after the gym, take the vape and go for it. And the only thing that's keeping me now towards the vaping is that the routine is still in it. So it's still a thing in my head that I want to do it because I used to do it at that moment of time. So the other way around as well, if you have a good routine, try and keep it going, because if you're out of it, it takes a couple of weeks to get everything set up again. So take that in consideration, note it down, and let's see for the next vacation you've got if you can keep it up. Now, my potatoes are cooking up. I have 400 grams of potatoes, 175 grams of chicken, 50 grams of veg, which is 25 carrot and 25 green beans. I have 50 avocado, and I will have probably 100 grams of berries with it, and a little bit of light sauce. I do have a new light sauce from Physique, I think. This one. So I'm gonna try this. It has 104 calories. So I always say that maximum for light sauces, 100 calories is okay. So this is just a bit above. Okay, I'm gonna take it, no problems. I do see that there's 1 gram of salt with 100 grams of sauce. So that's not a big issue, because I'm just gonna use 15 grams of sauce with this meal. And then we're gonna eat it. So let's see if the potatoes are ready, and let's see what the meal looks like when it's done. So this is what the meal looks like. I'm gonna put the macros on the screen of this meal so you can see, and on the end of the day I will do the full overview. But I'm gonna eat this right now. Then I'm gonna do a work block number 2, and then it's time for our pre-workout meal. So let's go. All right, so it's time for the pre-workout meal, which is 150 grams of rice, 150 grams of chicken, 50 veg, again with 25 green beans and 25 carrots. And what I'm using with this meal for today is Italian herbs. I like to spice it up sometimes a little bit. So Italian herbs, no salts, just only herbs, as the name suggests. And it makes it a little bit nicer to get the meal in. I do have banana with this, so I would have pineapple, but I am very used to my banana. So I'm switching the pineapple and the extra dates I have in the plan for bananas, which just tastes nicer in my opinion, so that's why. No big other reasons. We are heating this up in the pan as usual, because it makes the food taste way much better. Now I always do still add a little bit of water to it, just to make it a little bit more sticky rice, a little bit more tasteful. If you haven't tried it out, just try it out yourself, because it makes it very much better. You got it? Now I'm heating this up. I'm gonna eat it in a second, and then it's time for my push day. For push, I will probably take you along, film some clips with my phone, as it is not the best environment for filming with the camera. The DJI does not really work in that place, but nevertheless, I will show you some clips of training, and I will take you there. So I'm gonna eat this, and I'll see you in the gym. And this is what it looks like, with one digest and one magnesium. So I take magnesium with every single meal, one tab, to get my targets for the day in and to get it spread out throughout the day. Improves my sleep, improves my hydration, improves everything. So taking it with every meal. And the digest is just for the extra volume of the meal. 150 grams of rice is decently high, so some extra support with it is not unwanted, I should say. Okay, so we are home again. Next up, we have our cream of rice meal of 170 grams of cream of rice, which I already pre-made to let it cool. I do this with 3.5 times the amount of cream of rice in water to get a nice thick consistency. It's all about texture and consistency with cream of rice. If you have it too watery, then it's too much of a sludge and I don't like it. And if you have too less, well, you can't have too less because it's getting more thicker then. So I like that. So that's what I've got right now with the Invexis Cookies and Cream Whey Isolate. So I always go for an isolate, guys. I cannot say it enough. It's the best quality of protein that you can get. It's even better than egg whites itself with the bioavailability of it. So, and a full isolate means better digestion, less lactose, so more tolerable for most people. So always get your isolates, and if you get a nice one with the best flavors like the Invexis ones, then you're set. So get it, use my code for discount. Now I've got 100 banana extra with that, and I've got 150 berries with it and 10 grams of dates. So I'm gonna set that all up, I'm gonna eat it, and then I'm gonna run you through my workout. So let's go, eat it and have some fun with the workout clips. So back at the office to run you through the session of today. It was push and my elbow still was bothering me a bit because I fell on my skiing trip and I didn't know what I did, but my elbow started hurting afterwards and it is not feeling all that right. So when it stretches, it goes okay. When there comes pressure on it, it hurts a bit and it's not really anything good to push on with it. So I had to back off a little bit from the direct tricep work. The pushing work did go well. But what you see me do here for the first exercise is actually try and loosen up my tricep with some static holdings and some static stretching. I do a 5 to 10 second negative, a 5 second stretch and a 5 second hold when it is in contracted position, to really try and warm the joint to get everything loosened up. And last week this did help a little bit, but this time it did not do enough to get my elbow pain free. So yeah, I just tried and do it with this, but it was not enough today. So for the next exercise, what I went on to do is the cable crunch. I always warm up with some kind of ab exercise to get the core activated and to get some ab work in. Now I did shift over backward a little bit with when curling down. That's not really what I want, so I've got to focus on that. But overall, this felt really good on the abs and I could really squeeze them nicely. This or planks I will always do pre-training. Planks for the core stability and for the holding, and also improves posing for me. And with the planks as well is that it can just keep your waist more tight in the off season. So if you keep actively working on that transverse abdominal and try to squeeze very hard with the planks, then you will be able to hold it all together real nicely. So that's what I did, and this is what I did here. Now for the next exercise, I started off with 2 sets of the cable wire raise. This machine felt pretty good for me, and this setup is pretty nice because the arms of the machine are all the way adjustable, so I can pull them higher, lower, to left, to the right, so I have the perfect setup for me. And with this one I improved on the last session last week, because the first session last week was post vacation. I was not the strongest, and I'm already back at full speed now. So this one felt really good. I really tried to focus on pushing my hands towards the ceiling and really try to reach forward and up. And when I try to when I get into the contraction, I really try to make that Y and follow the same path that I went onwards. I will follow the same path back towards the machine, so I really use that Y in as the whole path of the exercise. Then next up, what I did was one working set of the incline Smith machine. Now note that is one working set. I did do 3 sets in total, 2 warming up sets to really get the feel of it and to get my chest warmed up enough. And this is still my 110 in total, is still my heaviest. I'm not pushing up that quickly, but form is getting better. Form is actually pretty good right now, I think. So slight progressions are possible, but I don't expect to go up in big weights or many reps at a time. So 1 rep each session up is a big win for me already, and you should consider that for yourself as well, because you cannot expect to gain a lot of strength just over 1 week. This takes time, this takes effort, and small progressions like 1 rep forward or 2.5 kilograms up is already a very big improvement. After the incline chest press, I went to the flat machine press. This particular machine is not really that common, I think, and it's not the greatest. Well, I'm not sure what I think of it. I'm gonna use it right now, and I'm gonna try it out for a couple of weeks and see if I'm able to progress on it and if it feels good for me. It's a little bit weird because it gets heavier when you go into the full contracted position, and when you get into the stretch, it actually gets lighter. So I'm gonna discuss with Kuba if this is something we can keep in, or we're just gonna shift back to the other machine press. The other machine press though did feel a little bit wobbly for me. The handles are a little bit loose, and when I go down it feels a little bit insecure, so that's why I try another machine here, and that's why I try to switch it up a bit. After that I went over to the cable fly, the incline cable fly, and I use the same cable bench setup but with a small bench, so my back is a little bit over top. This means that I can really extend outwards and backwards and really squeeze those elbows together when I get into the front. And this one I was able to take a little progression on as well, so very productive training session today. Try and focus on really squeezing those pecs, and do not just move the weight with your hands. Think about pushing your elbows together. If you think about it, your pec is made to bring your biceps inwards or your elbows inwards together, and if you really squeeze those elbows together like that, then you will feel a big difference instead of when you are hugging and you're just pushing your hands together. This takes a lot of range of motion away if you just do it from the hands, so always use the elbows. Then I did try to do the press downs. I was a little bit annoyed, but it did not really work out. I had 1 set before this with actually 10 reps, and it felt okay, but it started hurting more and more, so I had to stop it. It was just not the right day for the elbow just yet. I'm gonna give it some extra rest and see how it recovers. And after that, there was the side raise machine. I did 2 sets there with the heavy loading, 7 to 10 reps to finish the shoulders and to finish this training session. This particular machine I do also really like. It feels really comfortable to sit in it, and I can adjust it towards everything I want it to. With this exercise, it's very good to know that you want to push hard and you want to squeeze on top and you want to lower the weight with full control. With every exercise, I'd say use full control, but with this as well, squeeze at the top, lower it under control, not slowly, but controlled, and you are set to do a great and really nice exercise. So, this was my training session. I rate this training session as 8 out of 10 because I did really progress for my likings on very much every exercise a little bit. It felt really good. I felt really strong, got a decent pump, so it was all amazing. Just the triceps were not working today. That's it for this training session. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do another work block here, do some texts and some stuff because we have to do that in this month, and then we are going over for meal 5, which will be beef and rice. So see you guys there. All right, next up we've got our rice and beef meal. Meal number 5, 100 grams of rice with 175 grams of shredded beef, 50 veg and 100 apple. Now the beef I did make myself in the slow cooker, or in the crock pot as we call it here. It's a brick pressure cooker, which makes it very easy to slow cook it, but quick cook it as well. It took 50 minutes in the cooker to get it all done, and now it looks like shredded beef. So there you have it. Now with the cut of beef I used, it was runderneck. It was rump steak with a little bit more fat than I would like, but the fat renders out when you have it in a pressure cooker, because you cook it for 50 minutes on a very high pressure in a high temperature. The fat just renders out, and when you actually take it out of the cooking water, you see all the fat floating in the pan. So it takes it all out and it makes it nice and lean. So I'm gonna enjoy this, and we'll probably see each other with meal number 6. All right, so the last meal of the day, and that is 100 grams of cream of rice with 40 grams of whey isolate again, then a little bit of zero sauce, chocolate flavor, some cinnamon, 150 grams of berries, 15 grams of peanut butter. Now I never do peanut butter, but there came a new one in, so I want to try it. Normally it's almond butter or pistachio butter. 5 grams of dark chocolate, and that's it. Now for the whey, I used the Invexis crispy chocolate wafer, and these are the black tubs they sell. And there's one major issue with the black tubs, and that is that they do not mix into a paste. When you do 3 drops of water with 50 grams of whey, it's instantly a shake. And that's good if you drink your shakes, but if you want to make a drip, then it is not recommended to get this one, but the white tubs. Now, the flavor is 10 out of 10. It's just like a Kit Kat, but mixability is actually 10 out of 10 for a shake, but not for a whey drip. So, what actually happened today as well, I dropped my fucking bowl. So now we're gonna get a new bowl for our foods, because we're quite used to our standard bowls, and I am pretty autistic with it, so I've got to get a new one. I'm gonna check out tomorrow if I can find one. So that was a big bummer, but after all, it's just material and that can be replaced. So gotta take that in mind. Now, time for food. So let's eat and enjoy the meal with some downtime on the couch before we go to bed. And this is the meal. So yeah, that's the meal. Now it is, I think, 7:15. We go to bed at 8, so time to eat and relax. Have a good evening. If you like this video, please leave a like, follow, subscribe, anything else, just support me, and let's see where we can get this channel.